Portia of Belmont is in Paris. Before her father died, he prepared a will with a few conditions for Portia's marriage. This was to make sure that only a man who loved Portia for who she was and not for her wealth would marry her. According to the will, there were three caskets, one of gold, one of silver, and the other one of lead, which had inscriptions in them. One of them had a portrait of Portia hidden inside. Only a suitor who chose the casket with Portia's portrait would be eligible to marry her. In addition, all suitors were required to take an oath. If they chose the wrong casket, they would never marry and would leave Belmont honorably straight away. The challenge was not only a test of wisdom but also of character. It ensured that only the best man would marry Portia.
Mislike me, not for my complexion, the shadowed livery of the burnished sun. To whom I am a neighbor and near bred, I tell thee, lady, this aspect of mine hath feared the valiant. By my love, I swear, the best regarded ladies of her clime have loved it too. I would not change this hue, except to steal your thoughts, my gentle queen.
In terms of choice, I am solely led by nice direction of maiden's eyes. The lottery of my destiny bars me the right of voluntary choosing. But if my father had not scattered me and hedged me by his wit to yield myself, his wife who wins me by that means, I told you yourself, renowned prince, then stood as fair as my former, that I have looked on yet everyone for my affection.
The Prince of Morocco asked Portia not to dislike him because of the color of his skin. He would not change the color of his skin for anything except to have Portia think kindly of him. Portia says that when it comes to choosing a husband, she cares more about just the looks. But Portia's destiny is to be decided by a game of chance or lottery, so she cannot choose for herself. But if her father had not robbed her of that right, then the Prince of Morocco would have just had as much chance as any other potential suitor.
Even for that, I thank you. Therefore, I pray you lead me to the caskets to try my fortune. By the scimitar that slew the Sophie and a Persian prince that won three fields of Sultan Solomon, I would arrest there the sternest eyes that look, outbrave the heart most daring on the earth, pluck the young cubs from the she-bear, yes, mock the lion when I rose for prey, to win thee, lady.
You must take your chance and either not attempt to choose at all or swear before you choose. If you choose wrong, never speak to a lady afterward in the way of marriage. Therefore, be advised.
Nor will not come, bring me on to my chance.
Go, draw aside the curtains and discover the several caskets to this noble prince. Now, make your choice.
Behind the curtains, there were three caskets. One casket was made of gold, the another was made of silver, and the last one was made of lead. The first of gold, who this inscription bears, who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. The second, silver, which the promise carries, who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. The third, dull lead, with warning all as blunt, who chooseth me must give, and hazard all he hath. How shall I know if I do choose the right?
The one of them contains my picture, prince. If you choose that, then I'm all yours, withal.
What says this leaden casket? Whose chooseth me must give, and hazard all he hath. Must give for what? For lead? Hazard for lead? This casket threatens men that hazard all do it in hope of fair advantages. A golden mine stops not to shows off dross. I'll then nor give nor hazard aught for lead. What says the silver with a hue? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves.
Portia warns him that either he must not attempt the task at all or promise that if he chooses the wrong one, he will never speak to her about marriage again. The Prince of Morocco looks at the casket of lead. The inscription on it reads, "He who chooses me must give up and risk all that he has." The prince says that if he has to risk everything, he will do only if it was a big reward. A golden mind does not bend down to choose what is worthless. So he decides to not risk anything for mere lead. The silver casket reads, "He who chooses me will get as much as he deserves."
As much as he deserves, pause there, Morocco, and weigh the value with an even hand. If thou beast rated by the estimation, though those deserve enough, and yet enough may not extend so far as to the lady, and yet to be afford of my deserving, were but a weak gambling of myself, as much as I deserve. Why, that's the lady. I do in birth deserve her, and in fortunes, in graces, and in qualities of breeding. But more than these, I love, I do deserve. What if I strayed no farther, but chose here? Let's see once more this saying graved in gold. Who chooses me shall gain what many men desire. Why, that's the lady. All the world desires her. Deliver me the key. Here do I choose and thrive I as I may.
There, take it, Prince. And if my life from there, then I am yours.
Using the key, the Prince of Morocco opens the golden casket.
Oh hell, what have we here? A carrion death, within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. I'll read the writing. All that glitters is not gold. Often has you heard that told. Many a man his life had scold, but my outside to behold. Glided tombs do worms enfold. Had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs, in judgment old, your answer has not been inscrolled. For fare you well, your suit is cold. Cold indeed, and labor lost, then farewell heat and welcome, frost, Persia, adore.
Good riddance. Draw the curtains. Go.
If the prince were to judge himself, he'd think he had deserved quite a bit. But quite a bit may not be enough to win over Portia. He thinks his thought might be underestimating himself. He believes he deserves her because of his noble birth, wealth, good graces, breeding, and most of all, the love he has for her. Next, he reads the inscription on the gold casket. He who chooses me will get what many men desire. Portia is the woman who is desired by the entire world. So the prince chooses the gold casket and asks for its key. But when he opens the casket, he finds a skull, and inside the eye socket is a message. All that glitters is not gold. Many men have given up their life just to see my outsides, but golden tombs contain nothing but worms. If you had been as wise as you were bold, with the strength of youth in your body, but as good judgment of old age in your mind, you would have not chosen this casket. Farewell, the attempt to win Portia is unsuccessful. The Prince of Morocco is saddened. He says goodbye to his passion, accepts solitude for his fate, and leaves Portia.
In Belmont is a lady richly left, and she is fair. Had I but the means.
Try what my credit can in Venice do.
To furnish you to Belmont.
Promise me life, and I'll confess the truth.
Confess and live.
Confess and love.
The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it shall go hard.
I would my daughter were dead. Antonio is certainly undone. I will have Antonio's heart.
I'll not be made a soft and dull-eyed fool.
I have engaged my dear friend to his mere enemy.
He seeks my life.
Academy Award winner Al Pacino.
If you deny me, fie upon your law!
I stand for judgment.
I stand for law!
Academy Award winner Jeremy Irons.
I'm armed and well prepared.
Joseph Fiennes.
Curb this cruel devil of his will.
And introducing Lynn Collins.
The pound of flesh that I demand. 'Tis mine!
William Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice.